Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the second part of the full ecological insulation using cork and hemp for your van. On the first part, I show you how to make your own spray cork recipe and save 700 euros on your insulation. And today we will talk about hemp panels, why they are so good and how to apply them. If you haven't seen the first video, you probably should check it out first and come back here. I can wait for you, no problem. And now let's jump into the subject. I know what you're going to ask, but Nico, why using hemp panel? And I'm glad you ask. Hemp have a really good thermal resistance and there is many other good advantage to use it. Hemp is completely recyclable. It doesn't create any irritation to the skin or the lounge. The panels do not contain any harmful substances. Hemp is naturally protected against mold and bacteria. Hemp insulation has no scents. Really good thermal and acoustic insulation. Only little energy is used during the production process. And of course, it is a complete sustainable material. A panel will always be around 1.24 meters long for 0.6 meters wide, and you can find them in different thickness starting from 45 millimeters to 200 millimeters. I personally use the 45 millimeters. If you are planning on traveling a lot during the winter, I could recommend you to use the 60 millimeters. I don't recommend going thicker than that because we already live in a tiny place. Let's keep some space inside. How to apply it? And we're gonna start with the floor. There is something really important to know with hemp panel: you cannot compress it. The panels are soft, and if you compress them, you will damage them and your insulation will not work properly. So in order to use them properly, you will have to build a structure to hold the panel together and be able to set a floor on top of it. Nothing complicated. I measure the size of my floor, draw the most efficient pattern with the size of the panels, and I came up with this one.
So this is the plan for the floor. So as you see, I need to build a structure to put the panel inside. In 3D it's gonna look like that. So this is your wood structure with your hemp panel inside and the floor that's gonna go over.
I will put all the plans on my website vagabondvan.com. Everything will be available for free and you're welcome. I simply place the panel inside the structure. Some of them will fit perfectly and some of them will need to be cut.
So it is super annoying to cut the hemp panel. The best solution I find so far is to put the piece of wood here with the panel over and try to cut through the panel all the way along. So far, that's the best technique.
There is only two tricky parts: the step at the side door, and the back of the van was not finishing 90 degrees, so I had to do 245 degrees angle of the structure. Nothing complicated, just take your time to take the good mensuration and everything will be good. On top of the structure and the hemp panel, I put a 12mm plywood after setting all my electric wires, because most of my wires are actually passing along my floor. I will not talk about electricity today because I will make video dedicated to electricity in your van, and if you don't want to miss them, I recommend you subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell to know exactly where the next video come out. Walls! Now that we have an insulated floor that we can work on, let's talk about walls. It will be even easier. You don't need any structure to hold the panel because your van already has structures on the walls. And they will be perfect for our hemp panels. Every van will be different, but the job is the same. You will fill every area when you can fit a panel. Sometimes you will need to cut it. Sometimes one panel will fit perfectly exactly the area, and sometimes you will need to put multiple pieces. I recommend to be a little bit generous with your mensuration, because if your panel is 1 centimeter too big, you can push a little bit and it's gonna be fine. But if your panel is 1 centimeter too short, you have a thermal break, and that sucks. Last but not least, the roof. You're actually gonna do pretty much the same thing than before. To be sure that the panel don't fall while I was working, I secure them with some little strings before closing everything with plywoods. We call that step boxing. I use a 5mm plywood to finish with a clean insulated box where I will be able to start building my furnitures directly on the plywood. And as I said earlier, don't forget to set all your wires before closing everything with the plywood. Videos about electricity are coming. I know a lot of people are a bit scared with electricity, but I'm working on a video that will explain everything you need to know to be comfortable to build your own electric system in your van. If you have any question about van build, you can ask me in the comment section, or you can reach me on Instagram. I reply to everyone on YouTube and Instagram so far. If you want to support the project, you can subscribe to the channel and share the videos with your friends. I will definitely appreciate it. And if you have the budget to offer me 1 cup of coffee every month, you can go on my Patreon page that I will link down below, where I'm sharing some behind the scene and where we can talk a little bit more deeply together. It also will help me to continue to do all these videos. In the meantime, take care, stay healthy, and I wish you a really good day. Yeah. Hey, peace. And now let's jump into the subject.